My question to you, I have two of them actually. One would be, do any of you have any questions for the other panelists? Because you're not only speakers, you're participants here today as well, and we would be interested in anything you would like to follow. Yes, I'll come to you for that in a moment. And I'll give you the mic in a moment. And my other question to you as well would be, in particular to you, Georgia, and the others who work in the member states, are you able to communicate with each other? Do you have interoperability at the working level now? And if not, what would it take? And Georgia, perhaps I'll let you go first. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I can ask you a question. How did you convince public administration to collaborate to your project?
Yes, the one thing is the experience of the earthquake. At that time, that we learned a lot of things, the usefulness of the open data and the data analysis and the interoperability of the importance of the interoperability of the data. That's a main trigger of our project. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions that the panelists have? Josh? No? Okay, thank you. Well, what about my question about interoperability? Do you have any at the current moment? What's the situation? I mean, with each other, with the fellow panelists here, and perhaps with the colleagues from Japan.
Wow, difficult. In the sense that, well, in Italy there are some kind of attempts to guarantee interoperability. I guess that we are really still far away to achieve interoperability like I heard this morning in other countries. But I guess that we are on the, let me say, in the good path to do that. And all this work that are developed in the context of Europe, and the ISA program is an example, are really important. What I can say is that in the data field, we are trying to do that using other works that were developed in the context of ISA, like this application profile for the definition of data catalogs. In that case, we are starting in Italy also a route in this sense, and I hope to be able next year to come here and say, yeah, we achieved that interoperability that we wanted, that we really wanted. I still don't have the answer to this question, even if there are some isolated solutions. That is true, but they are isolated. That's the problem. So we need, to fill all these gaps between all these isolated and good solutions that some public administration employed.
I hope you'll be able to come in a year's time and report success as
well. Yeah,
Sviatoslav, would you like to take that question too?
Thank you. Well, in Bulgaria, it will be exaggerated to say that we have a large-scale interoperability solution with other member states or administrations, but what we're trying to follow, and of course the Ministry of Transport, IT and Communications in Bulgaria that is mainly involved with that matter, we try to follow well-established standards for interoperability, so we meet at the end with the others that do that. So we look ahead, and so that's how we are planning and to achieve that goal. Thank you.
Mr. Toshio, you already answered this question very eloquently in your presentation, but is there anything you would like to add? No advice for we Europeans using a simple Latin alphabet?
Yes. So the character level interoperability, that we have another very big problem. But at this point, we propose all of the character to the ISO, and it's a stage of the final voting. So in near future, we will solve that problem. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was looking for it. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, thank you. I think now we take some questions from the audience. And how many of you know what this is? This is called a catch box, and it has a microphone in it, which, let me test it. Is it working? Is the microphone on? Yeah, it is on. Good. This is going to be your microphone. So any of you who have questions, you also need to know how to catch. Jaime, would you like to go first? And rather than explaining what's going on here, we'll just demonstrate. Here you go.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'd like to make a question to George. Yes, Jaime Casado from Portugal. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to make a question to Georgia about the following topic. How do you intend to disseminate the vocabulary among citizens, firms, and all the administration, so that everyone understands how they can use it? Okay.
Thank you. Let's take a couple of questions before we go back to the panel. Do I see any more hands? And please, don't be shy. Is that someone way there in the back? I may not dare throw that fire. Are you ready? You ready?
Okay. My question is, our invitee from Japan mentioned what was the key instrument to put the public administrations collaborating and implementing the solution. That was the extreme disaster that you had in your country. And my question to all is, do we need to wait for such a disaster before starting collaborating between public administrations?
By the way, I think that's a very good question. Thank you for that. Anyone else? By the way, I have a pretty good arm, those of you in the back of the room. I might just be able to reach you. Okay, well, in a moment, I'm just going to throw it out there and see who catches it. And it's going to be your turn to answer a question. Wait, the gentleman just there. Are you ready?
Thank you. Thank you very much. John Kootstra. I'm working in the Ministry of the Interior of the Netherlands. I'm also a member of the ISA committee group. Interesting to hear all these interoperability initiatives. And yesterday in the committee meeting, we also had the discussion about how can the relations between activities in ISA be strengthened in relation to other EU activities. So we should avoid thinking too much from pillars also within EU programs. So one concrete question that came up to me after having heard these presentations, like the similarities or the differences between e-Trustex and e-delivery. Maybe I can imagine that question also comes up with other people, and I'm happy to hear about that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, thank you. In the spirit of democracy, I pass the catch box to you. You just speak and they'll pick you up.
Oh.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice. All you have to do is hold.
In Japan, the earthquake experiment is a great enabler of our interoperability project, but of course it's very difficult to proceed in. The many ministries are independently moved, so currently the project seems to go very well, but I need more strong organizing power. So I'd like to learn many things from the European EC's approaches, EC's experiment.
And if you have the stomach, you can go to Georgia.
Okay, so the question was how to document that to citizens and all that, the other stakeholders. So we started a series of webinars as a digital agency. And actually there is a great interest behind what we are doing. We have this webinar with more than 300 persons. They are listening to us in 1 hour, trying to explain the details of all these things. And in this kind of situation, we have public administration, but also enterprises that participate to them. We would like also to do a strong communication campaign as well in order to let public administration know of the advantages of this approach. From a citizen point of view, I would say I won't show that to a citizen. My mom will never understand the public service class connected with the properties as channel to a channel, okay? But what I want to give to my mom is another message that is, if we do that, maybe we can enable some other people or enterprises to build on top of that strong services that are, tailored to your needs. So you are maybe able to find public services online in the easiest way than you do now. This is the message.
Well, in terms of the question what the e-delivery would mean, I would say that at least from what we have done so far, especially in Bulgaria, we understood that as a much wider term because it might have different options of e-delivery. Normally for Bulgaria, we are aiming for, because it's the history experience that we had, we're aiming for emails to be used. We started originally with personal emails that normally people do and have that can be turned into registered easily by being really indicated in the e-application for a service. But what we are aiming right now is a second step to really have the government maintaining an email that is, of course, not mandatory, but people can have that. So to make it more secure. But my understanding of e-delivery is that it's not only an email, it could be any other solution that would have the same effect. So that would differentiate from others. It's not just email. Thank you.
So question from Netherlands, the differences of the commonalities between SET e-delivery and e-Trustex. Of course, as I show you on one figure, different projects were born in different contexts. So here, of course, the e-Trustex was born, as I explained, from Commission and Member State needs, but more from a Commission perspective, where the e-delivery, safe e-delivery was born from the work from Member States and exchanging cross-border from one Member State to another. So what I want to say, they are complementary. They cover different needs. And now we are also working together to see if e-Trustex can, for example, become a safe building block. And Natalia maybe can complete on the more technical aspects.
So just very quickly to complete on that is the architecture of the two solutions is not the same, so they do not answer to the same needs. And for example, in the explorations we are doing with some new projects, as I explained, the tobacco directive, the idea is to implement both building blocks. So as Serge said, they are complementary. One is more in a star architecture, while the other is more linear architecture. So perhaps we can discuss further outside here to have more details on this.